Studies suggest that less than 5% of Web3 entrepreneurs are women, and that female-founded Web3 firms account for only 2% of venture capital funding. And out of 121 leading crypto companies, only 5 were founded by women. On today's episode of the Crypto Mile, we have the founder of Women of Web3, Lauren Ingram. Women of Web3 is a community and a podcast that helps women connect and make the leap into the world of Web3, which is that hazy buzzword to describe the next iteration of the internet. Welcome to the Crypto Mile, Lauren.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Now, okay, the first step in solving a problem is to even admit that there is a problem. So how far along is the Web3 sector in coming to terms with this very significant gender imbalance?
I think it is starting to be recognised that there is quite a big imbalance, and you only have to go to a Web3 or crypto-focused event to see that women are in the minority. I think there is a desire to change that, and we have started to see women's programs and initiatives, or say women's NFT projects, but I don't think it goes far enough or fast enough. Even what I'm doing at Women of Web3 isn't enough yet, because the builders of today are going to be building the unicorn businesses of tomorrow. And so if you don't have female founders and female leadership, we're going to get left behind so quickly, and that really concerns me.
Right, so do you think there's like a lack of role models that are encouraging, younger females or females that want to get into the space to come in and actually try to, get motivated to actually start making a difference?
I think the women already in the space are doing what they can to encourage more women into the space, or say encourage younger women to consider careers in this area. But you're right that there's not quite enough female role models to begin with, or sort of women in leadership. So that's what we try to do with things like the weekly Women of Web3 podcast, is that we spotlight these amazing women doing really cool things in Web3, in crypto, to be seen as those visible role models, because there is that phrase, if you can see it, you can be it. And if more women can start to see that you can have a successful career or grow a business in this area, it's about demystifying it, because so much of it, as I'm sure you've seen, is so enshrined in this really unnecessarily confusing language, jargon, and even a lot of slang. And I think women do tend to be more put off by that level of confusing language, and sort of say, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Is there unique obstacles basically for a female founder or a female entrepreneur when they go to approach to try and get funding that maybe a male would not have? There are definitely some unique obstacles, and I think we're already slightly at a disadvantage because traditional finance is more male, even sort of trading, but then VC funding traditionally quite male, and still is the case. So as a female founder, when you're going in, male investors won't necessarily understand the problems that you're trying to solve, because they might be solutions for 50% of the population, and that male investors don't necessarily recognise the significance of those. So I think we are in a really tricky position as women, and this is what I mean about we really need to change things faster. That is interesting, because say these Web3 firms start to grow in size, they're going to have to change the gender imbalance at some stage. So it must be harder in the future. Exactly. We're already starting to see that now, whether big Web3 companies or big crypto exchanges already have quite a diversity issue, and so they're having to sort of retroactively try and address that in quite a concerted way. And I think that will continue to be the case. If they don't manage to bring in more women right now, and women in leadership positions, they're going to have a really severe diversity issue further down the line. And so that's what we've been working with quite a lot of whether it's big corporates or big crypto exchanges, is to work out where are the issues of why aren't women applying? Because anecdotally, recruiters are telling me they're having, say, between 1% and 10% women applying for these roles, which is really low. And I think some of it is coming down to the language used, and like I say, the sheer amount of jargon that there is. But then I also think a lot of crypto companies are requiring too high a level of knowledge just to get in the front door, and actually it should be partly their job to educate everybody about crypto, about Web3, about all these blockchain-based technologies, in order that they will be able to diversify their workforce. Because if you've got that diversity of thought, you're going to be creating better products and ultimately making more money as a business. Say if you have a female entrepreneur who wants to start up a new Web3 company, and they want to entice some of that VC funding, what kind of advice would you give them? I would say ask for more money. Whatever the number is that you are going to go and ask for more than that, because what I'm hearing from investors in my sort of wider network is that women are asking for really specific amounts. They've done their homework and they've been probably quite cautious in their numbers, so it's always worth asking for more in the first place, because it also gets you taken more seriously the bigger the number you're asking, which is an unfortunate truth, but it's a reason to round things up.
But it's not all bleak, is it? Because Web3 is a broad spectrum of different subcategories. We've got like DeFi, we've got the metaverse, we've got the NFTs, we've got online marketplaces for digital artwork, digital collectibles. There must be one area where women are sort of advancing ahead and the men are trailing behind.
Yeah, I think women are leading the way in fashion, and I'm a little bit loath to say that because I don't want to suggest that if women want to be successful in this new area, it has to be in fashion and beauty. But saying that, I think we really are leading the way. We've seen lots of brilliant female founders being funded.
So you're obviously a founder of Women of Web3. So what next for the organisation? What have you got planned in 2023?
Well, our initial focus actually is International Women's Day. So 8th of March is our kind of big moment for asking people to take women seriously in the Web3 space and bring more women in, to onboard women into this space, teach as many people as possible about blockchain, NFTs, crypto, the metaverse, all of it. I would love to see more women in it. And beyond that, we are working on a scholarship fund to train more women to get them into this space.
Fascinating. And we'll be on the lookout for what Women of Web3 are going to be doing in 2023. Lauren Ingram, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.